celebrate his life for him. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go to the chat, put some hearts and put some fires for a dynamic, amazing individual. His name is Mr. Adrian Dynamite Sloan. If you could find some dynamites, put them in the chat. Put some dynamites in the chat, some hearts, some fires, and load it up with some sevens, ladies and gentlemen. So let me step out of the way and turn over this virtual floor to Mr. Adrian Dynamite Sloan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Thank you, Dr. Benjamin. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, sir.
All right, I had to verify. Last call out, my mic wasn't on. I had to make sure before we got started this time. Good afternoon, everybody. I appreciate everybody joining us again for a FinTech opportunity call. Man, listen, I'm excited, man. If you guys are pumped up, excited, ready to go, let me see you put some fire in the chat. If you guys are excited, just as excited as I am to be able to take this deal to the next level. So let's make sure, guys, that we understand that this opportunity in this moment in time, we can't take it for granted. We are in the midst of another great economy transition, right? And it depends on how you look at this. Based on data and understanding, this is going to depend on what your outcome is going to be. And so I encourage you not to listen to all the noise that's going on in the marketplace right now. We know interest rates are higher. We know that Washington, D.C. is making different changes, but study, pay close attention, because if you pay close attention, all right, somebody having a good time. Because if you pay close attention, you'll realize that in transitions like this in the economy is where the next 7-figure, 8-figure earners come from. And it's where the new millionaires come from. And so it's in these times and in these climates that those of us who are really financially sound will capitalize on it the most. People that are very emotional will miss the opportunity because their emotions control them and not logic. So I want to open up this call with you to tell you that, one of my goals of any call that I have with you guys is to give you the update information and show you how to position yourself for wealth. My name is Adrian Dynamite Sloan. I'm one of the co-founders of the Extreme FX Global Academy. I am the CFO of this amazing platform that we have serviced over 100,000 affiliates across the world. We've paid out millions of dollars to the field all across the country, as Mr. Dr. Benjamin was so eloquently saying, that we believe in taking care of our people. So we have this call that's open to be able to share opportunity with any guest, to be able to, share with your family. We share with thousands, hundreds of thousands of other families across the world as how to take advantage of this financial marketplace and put yourself in a position for your family to win. So if winning is something important to you, let me see you put win in the chat. If winning financially, winning for your family is something that you desire to do, let's talk about it. I like my calls to be very interactive, so let's stay engaged through the whole process. I'm gonna feed off your energy as we go throughout this whole call. And so our goal today is to be able to share opportunity with you, those of you who are guests. Now, if this is your first time ever seeing the Extreme FX presentation, can you just do me a favor and just put a 1 in the chat for just a moment so I can get a good gauge of how many guests that we have on the call? Now, put a 1 in the chat if you can, if you're a guest and this is your first time ever seeing this information. Let me go over here for just a moment and be able to see how many guests, right? And if you're already a member of Extreme and you've been able to partake of the fruit of this deal, let me see you put a 7 in the chat. And the reason why 7 is the number, the logger to this call, because 7 is the number of completion, but we also have 7 steps to be able to maximize the program of financial freedom in Extreme FX. So we have something called the 7 steps of the ascending ladder that I'm going to take you to throughout this presentation. So anytime you come back on this call, we do have this call every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 o'clock. The password will always be 7 sevens in thought process of the 7 steps of the ascending ladder. So let's get this deal started as we go for this process, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to share with you an amazing opportunity. So let's start off with our disclaimer. Obviously, we can't guarantee just because you join us in Business and Extreme that you're going to make an incredible amount of money and, just by, becoming a member. Unfortunately, life doesn't work like that. Life works based upon, you get rewarded based upon what you put in. So that's what the disclaimer is saying. Just being an affiliate alone is not enough, right? But we do have a proven system that we can stand on, that we've produced thousands of 6-figure and 7-figure earners in our company through education or through distribution based upon their style of play, because they actually ran the system. So we just want to put that out there first before we go through all this information. This is what we call the 7 steps of the ascending ladder that we will go through today as I share this opportunity with you. And it has a couple products that we like to call gateway products, which means one product works cohesively with another product to be able to help you unlock a different transition as you grow, right? And so the first thing obviously in this process is our flagship product, which is Forex, our Forex education. We built this program 2 years ago, teaching people how to make money daily. It's $7 trillion in the market every single day that everyone has an opportunity to be able to get a piece of. The market had a really, really big move this morning, right? One of our educators gave me a heads up yesterday, and I woke up at 8:30 early, right? Or 8 o'clock before the news dropped, and got in the market at 8:30 because we knew the economy was making a transition. See, that's the privilege of being in a company we are a money academy. So if finance is something for your family that you hold dearly, being in a place where we can share information with each other to be able to maximize the economy, guys, that's what it's all about. So we built this academy for even a novice person who doesn't know anything about education to a person who's a little bit more skill set, right? Because our education go from copy paste trading, where you can just copy our signals every day, to an academy, to intermediate, to advanced, market structure processes. So we are talking about how to maximize it every day. The second gateway product is our personal credit product. Throughout this presentation today, we're going to talk about how you can leverage personal credit to be able to put yourself in position, because that is your foundation for all forms of credit that's going to follow. So we're going to talk about how to improve that in a major way as you build your business credit, which is our next tier. Business credit in today's market is one of the most important things you can do. It's a goose that keeps laying a golden egg over and over and over again. And as you grow in business, man, put a 2 in the chat for me if you actually have a business. If you have a LLC, a corporation, if you have an EIN number, if you have some business infrastructure that's already been put together, put a 2 in the chat. Because what I'm about to say is exactly for you, right? Business credit is something that once you understand how to grow it and the leverage that comes from it, you'll understand that you should do all things in the name of business. That a business, an entity as itself, separated from a person, gives you way more leverage than you can ever get as a person. Your personal credit can get you so far. And after you over leverage your personal credit, it actually could become damaging if you're still using it, right? So you need to offset that. So we have a business building process as well as a business funding, then show you how to grow your business quickly and fast, with different consumer financing products and real estate education. So as we know in the market today, real estate education is something that a lot of people want to know how to buy and hold, fix and flip. This is one of those games that is important of who you know, right? And it's all about what you know, but who you know, and you need to learn from people who got credible information. We do have a state-of-art real estate education program that's put together for anyone who want to learn that process. And I'm going to show you how to actually get access to that right through this call. And the last thing, which is very important, is how to protect your legacy with a trust fund. So this is what we call the 7 steps of the ascending ladder. Let's make sure you take note of that, because this is how you maximize this training program. So number one, when you come into our program and you just want to learn how to trade, right? You want to make money every day. As bills come every day, we need to make money every day, right? To offset those bills. If you can make an extra $100 to $200 a day, and what, for your household, would that be valuable to you, right? Yes or no in the chat. If you can make an extra $100, $200 every single day, right? Would that be valuable to you? Last time I checked, every time we leave our house or we get up in the morning, we got bills. And the time we put our feet on the ground, for the time we wash our face to get breakfast in the morning, from the time you crank up that car, right, to go to work or take your kids to school, all these things cost, ladies and gentlemen. All these things is cost. So the average person is spending anywhere between $100 to $150 a day, right? Whether you paying for it out of pocket or you getting a bill in the mail. Right? So because again, you put your foot on the ground, that's a mortgage, right? So divide your mortgage by 30 days. This tells you how much it costs you every single day to live in that household, right? That car note that you're driving, right? Divide that by 30 days. It tells you how much you got to spend every single day to have access to that vehicle. Same thing with your gas, same thing with your food. So if you're spending $100 to $150 or $200 a day, depending on your lifestyle, I think it'd be good for you to be able to offset your income with some form of income every single day. It sounds small to say $100 to $200 a day, but if you do the math on your life, you're spending about that much money just because you're in the world that we live in, and it actually costs to be here, right? So we have to do that. So within our program, we teach a person how to get educated in this market, download the apps, get a broker, practice their demo, fund a live account, and earn and learn all at the same time. Guys, this is a very powerful skill set to be able to learn. We have so many educators in our business right now that have and students that have taken their life to the next level. So to become a member, just a student, right? If you just want to be a student in the academy, No pressure about affiliates, no pressure about recruiting. You just want to learn a skill set that be able to help income for your family. There's 3 different markets, 3 different memberships you can actually choose, whether it's a Forex student, HFX, or Trio package, right? You come in, right, as little as $99 to be able to get started, right? That's one of the most affordable student rates in the industry, and proven track record of 6- and 7-figure earners came from my education, including youth, right? This came into our program and now are great students themselves. So within that $99, you're going to even get a credit program that's built into you that you could do it yourself. We send you all the files. Then you get an opportunity to be able to work on your credit profile to improve your scores, because we want you to be able to make money every single day with no pressure, right? As you grow within your knowledge, guys, depend on, it doesn't matter what education package you start, you can always do an add-on, right? So I take education this way. Everybody learns differently. Everybody has a different interest of what they would like to learn. Once you master a particular subject matter, then you can add on, right, the additional class that you want to learn. It's really that simple. So you just add on to what you want to know, and then you go at that pace, right? And any costs that come with a membership, to me, is always taken care of, right? Because we make money in the market every single day. That's just the cost that you pay to get access to it. But the value that you get from it, it surpasses anything you could pay on a monthly, right? Our gateway product with personal credit. This personal credit thing is so key, right? Do me a favor. Like if your credit is important to you, put me in the chat, right? If your personal credit is important to you. Now, what I found out that most people who don't check their personal credit, right, is because they don't feel comfortable with the score. They don't like the desire, they don't like the results when they look at it, right? But people who are, conscious of their credit, they check it often. And if they get an indicator about it, they want to make sure they get it. Depending on who you are, where you are, guys, we still want to make sure that you treat your credit with some value, with some care, because it is going to be your foundation of all financing, right? So our whole model was set up to help a person save money, right? To be able to cut costs on insurance premiums and cut costs on car notes and interest rate, because no matter, who you are, the interest rate dictates your payment, and your payment dictates how much money come out of your house. So we can help you get your personal credit score up, then you can get your payments down, whether you need to refinance some things and get in a better deal, right, with an institution, whatever that is, that's just going to be important. So we restore and build credit. We'll eliminate debt quickly with some of our simulators, and then we track your progress, right? So this is an important key that you want to make sure you're inspecting with your expect with your credit. So we don't just clean people credit. I always like to say this on every presentation. We don't just clean people credit, just leave them out there. That's not what we do. We're an academy, ladies and gentlemen. So our job is to educate a person effectively to make sure that they understand how this works at a high level, how they understand how to get the disputes for learning. Because if I teach you exactly, what's important to get done with your credit, it's very seldom you're going to repeat the same thing, because you know how hard it was, or what you had to learn to get to this point. So we just don't want to have people thinking we just removing items off of their credit report and they're going to wake up with a higher score and that's it. No, we want you to learn credit utilization. We want you to learn credit mix. So how does that work? We want you to learn what a 30-day late is going to do to your credit profile, so you understand why it's important to use these different services with the alerts so that the bills that are paid on time. And some of our software, you can put all your expenses in the software, and you can put all of your income goals, right, that you want to hit in there too. So when expenses are coming up, you're getting alerted, so you don't have a 30-day late, guys. This is a powerful piece and a powerful tool of our program, right? So you get the monthly disputes, the online budgeting tools, the debt elimination, right? You get all of these mastery things, because this is the thing that you're going to need to be able to take your income to the next level by saving money. See, what I learned a long time ago is the more that I save and the more that I invested, that those investments turn into residual that paid for my lifestyle. Does that make sense? And so when you use that model, it's going to start with us. That's helping you save money by improving your credit score first, if that makes sense. So a person would pay $239 one time for this particular product upfront, right? Just get you set up, get everything done, upload all your documents into the portal, right? Then that person would pay $109 a month, $109 a month for the monthly, right? So if you decide to come in business with us and you want to serve some people, right? We don't sell products, we serve people. If you decide you want to serve some people that you know with this product, as a brand new business partner of ours, right, you would make $85 for every customer that you would service, right? And so if you build an organization of people that servicing, then you make an additional $5, right, on 3 personal sponsors through your organization. Now, this is the key to me. The $85 upfront is beautiful, but the powerful part to me, to me, right, who believe in residual income, is the $9. Then $9 a month for you having good customer service, building a great clientele, and those members actually, you know, enjoying their service every month based on your credibility and the service that we be able to provide to them, that continuation of your income every single month. So something that you did in the past is powerful, right? You locked in with your client and you helped them one time and their life grew. But the second part of it is that their life is growing, and because of you, you continue to get rewarded for it. Guys, that's a powerful place to me. For those of our clients who just want to be able to do it themselves, we didn't leave them out. We did put a product in there just for that, right? That a person could pay $150 to get the whole file, right? All the dispute letters, everything that you would need to send off to the clients. But the key to this is that you do it yourself, right? You send it in. So if you're that type of self-starter, you could pay $150 one time and you could be able to utilize this service. But if you're a person who wanted to be done for you and get a little bit more assist and a little bit more education as you go, I would recommend you actually going to the done for you product, right? So a couple of things to keep in mind and know, right? Credit repair in some states is illegal. So as I said earlier, we don't do credit repair. We do credit education, right? We'll document services, right? We can't guarantee point increases. We can't guarantee time frames, right? None of that. We can guarantee what's going to be best for our client. So how does our process work with the credit restoration? What we're looking for is inaccuracy, inconsistent information, name wrong, address is wrong, the debt that was reported is incorrect, it's been sold off to a third-party lender and it shouldn't have been. Now, we're looking for things that's inaccurate because based on the Fair Reporting Credit Act, it's different things we can stand on legally that if these lenders that or creditors did not do their job correctly, then this is on your report illegally, right? So when we look at these inaccurate information and data on your report, we can get those things removed with our services just using the letters that come directly stating what the law say, and they have to abide by the law. It's just that fair and it's just that simple. So you get the education out of us doing it at the same time, guys. So that's how that works. Now, if you're a person, again, some of you guys put in the chat that you do have a business. So this particular product is something that you want to pay attention to, because if you want to get your business credit built, but you at the same time you want your personal credit to improve, you can just get the business credit suite, because the personal credit is built into a complementary. Now we know 46% of all small businesses typically use their own personal credit. This is not something that's just race, nationality, or creed. This is just a national statistic across the board from the Small Business Administration that most people who go in business, they actually leverage their own capital, which is a slap on the wrist as you get old in business. You really don't want to do that, because personal credit is for personal things. Business credit is for business things, right? So when using your personal credit for business matters, at some point you're going to be over leveraged. We teach you how to actually build your business to make sure it's strong, to get the business credit profile. So in business, in a business, you have something called a Paydex score, just the same way in personal credit, you had something called a FICO score. Now the FICO score reports to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and based upon, you know, how you handle your relationship with those that you borrow from, your score goes up 800, 850. If you don't do well, it comes down, right? On the business side, the Paydex score, which is Dun & Bradstreet number or your EIN number, every vendor that you actually build a relationship with reports to that database for your credit worthiness for your company. Now, follow me, we're here, ladies and gentlemen. That's valuable because you want to make sure that that profile is strong. So if your business has been open for under 2 years, typically you have to use your personal credit to sign as a personal guarantor for the business. This is why you want to make sure that personal credit is strong, but you don't want to limit yourself there. You want to get your business in position, and we have a $50,000 funding guarantee, whether it's a new business or an established business, because with every level of funding for any business, there's tiers. And typically on tier 1 and tier 2 is where you build your vendor credit. So we have $50,000 of funding guarantee for vendor credit to make sure if you're going to get an account with BJ's or Costco's or, you know, Pilot, the gas cars, or, you know, any relationship with electronics or stationary goods, things that every business really needs, we have the relationships with hundreds of vendors to be able to make sure you get at least $50,000 of trustworthy lines that you can start borrowing on. And this is how it goes. Once you start borrowing down from that $3,000 or $5,000, you get some stationary goods or electronics, they start reporting that you borrowed and paid back. After 90 days, right? So every month they're reporting to the credit bureau, and that's building your business credit. You follow me? So now when you want to go get the business credit cards on tier 3 or tier 4 of the business credit suite process, you actually can get the credit cards, you can get the term loans, you know, you can get the line of credits and the things you need to actually grow your company. So this is a powerful tool. One of my favorite products that we have in fintech is business credit, right? Because I understand most businesses are limited from growth just because of lack of access to capital. It's not a lack of creativity, it's a lack of access to capital. So this is over $11,000 of value, ladies and gentlemen, from the funding guarantee to the personal credit that's actually built into it, to the business suite, right? The credit advisor support. Now that's major because everyone needs somebody to hold their hand through a process to be able to help them actually get better. Our business is set up in such a way that we have credit advisors support to help you for a whole year. Guys, if you think that's valuable, put valuable in the chat. I feel like any level of mentor and support that can assist your growth, it's going to be absolutely valuable. It's priceless because we actually spend more money, if you think about it, when we do things on our own that we don't have knowledge of, because typically we have to repeat a process. And that's not good because we don't waste time and money, right? And so we don't want that. So the support is there. Even if you have an established business and you've actually had some damaged things that was done on your credit before with your business, just like personal, it could be inaccurate information on your business. That needs to be disputed as well to be able to clean that up for you. That's a part of your service. The lenders that you get access to, some institutions only lend, right, based on certain underwriting criteria. But within the business credit suite, because it's an open umbrella of so many different lenders, if you have a business model that you typically would go to your bank, and your bank, based on their criteria, they just don't fund your industry, right? There's just nothing about how long you've been there. So it's nothing to get upset about that you got money there for years and, you know, things that we would personally feel of why a bank should do business with us, but your business just don't fit their funding criteria. That's okay. Within our database, within the business credit suite, you have a database of all these lenders. So when funding is necessary and needed, you have access to submit your application and have a better chance of getting identified with a lending institution that actually matches up with your model. And then you actually get the terms and conditions that you need that you couldn't find on your own because you wouldn't know what is in the application. Does that make sense? So this is a valuable source that's all within inside of this product: a free DUNS number, Dun & Bradstreet profile, Experian smart business to be monitored, the budgeting softwares and the debt elimination software, some personal is also built into the business, the net 30 accounts and the revolving lines. Guys, you get all of this value at $24.95 one time cost, $24.95. 11,000 for value, guys. That's absolutely incredible, right? Or you can go through our no money down process. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, that if you go to on the back office and you actually hit the personal loan button, you can actually go through and try to get financing, where it's 5,000 to 10,000 you may get awarded for, but it costs you no money down, and you can make the payments back to the debt servicing for the financing too, right? So if you decide to come in business with us and you decide to support and service people with this product, then you make an upfront commission of $500 every single time. If you build an organization, right, it's $50 for through 3 generations every time one of your team members do the same thing, guys. But we didn't stop there. We created a payment method that if a person want to actually make installments to get this product because it's so powerful, I mean, we open it up there too, where they can actually make installments. We didn't want to cut anybody off from having access to the product, so they pay a little bit more to do the in-house financing. But the key of it is that you have it, right? So in the third 3 months installments, after the second payment, they get access to the file. Right after the 4th payment on the 6-month installments, they get access to the file at that point, because now they've actually paid into the amount that's needed to be able to unlock it. Now, how we do the commission with any payment structures, I go through the presentation. All simply and all fairly, what we do is take the commission and divide it by the installments, right? So the affiliate still makes the same amount of money whether the client does an installment or not. We do have a DIY product, right? The same way we have for the personal, we have one for the business. If you serve a person with that one because they want to do it themselves, no problem at all. You make $200 in commission up front for that product, as well as $10 on 3 generations, and the monthly installment on that breakdown as such. All right, moving up a couple more tiers. Now, how many of you guys are excited about instant approvals, right? So instant approvals is one of the most beautiful things of fintech, because, you know, in old school ways, you know, you would do an application, you fill out all this paperwork in the office, you send it in, right? You got to sit there and wait, you know, 2 or 3 days for the underwriting department to review it and then get back to you. And then you might get approved and you might not, right? You just sitting with all this anxiety for a couple of days because you got something you need to get done. One of the beautiful things about financial technology right now is that because all the portals from the lenders are actually connected, you can get an instant decision on our platform. So if you're applying for a personal loan with a credit card, term loan, debt consolidation, whatever it may be, and a credit score could be as low as 550, you can submit the application And then a list of lenders will pop up, and based upon which one you want to go with, you actually choose. Then they reach out to you guys, you set up the terms and conditions, and you can actually move forward. So this is a powerful piece of our program, because the personal loan, again, is a gateway for clients to be able to purchase the high ticket items of the business credit suite or the real estate education. But guess what? The business funding is the exact same way. A person actually can come forth, make a decision, submit the application, get 100,000, 50,000, 200,000. We've seen it in all different types of genres. We have 8 different business funding products, and look at the listing of what type of business it could be, whether it's a small business, right? Unsecured lines of credit, business cash advances, right? SBA terms, which we know SBA is going to give you the best rates, right? For long terms on lump sums, traditional lines of credit, invoice factoring for people who have like marketing companies or logistic companies that you have a strong cash flow, but your credit worthiness may not be there. There's still an option for you to get invoice factoring based on just income alone with no credit report, right? Or even commercial real estate investment that can go up to 100 million on the real estate side. So take a screenshot of this, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can see this, because this is actually all the products that I just went over with the commission side of breakdown for the funding. And as you can see, based upon whatever type of loan that the client actually is buying from the bank, because you don't, get a loan, they sell you some money. So you're purchasing money, right, from the bank. And when you do so, this is how much your funding criteria can go up to based upon the business. And this is the commission spread, right? So it's based on base points of how many points is actually given from the loan that your client actually get of what the commission of the company is actually going to send to you. And it's a spread of indifference there. The only loan that's not paid out or the commission on the platform, which is important for you to know, is personal loans. Personal loans don't have an affiliate commission paid out because the commission spreads from the lenders is extremely low from businesses, because that money is needed for the client to actually make their purchase. So this is why there's no commission there on the initial loan, but the commission is paid out right on the product of purchase that they choose for. Does that make sense? And you makes sense in the chat if that makes sense. So we just want to make sure we got our clients in position. And so that's why we have that personal loan line there for them to be able to get in by all means necessary, because the whole goal is to see people grow. So if a person decides they want to do a business application, your client will submit $49 one time with their application. You do have some value attached to that. Depending on their approval, it's depending on what your commission is going to be, right? Based on a product of choice. Okay. All right. So that's that deal with the business loans. Guys, this product right here is always, I probably get the most questions about this product on the consumer financing, because it's something that we know all business owners need. So when we look at this, every business around us that has customers need consumer financing. And all that is to break it down for definition, that a consumer being a person like you and I, who's actually going to a business and we need financing for their service. That's what consumer finance it is. If a person comes to your house and is a roofer and they come to and they say, well, this is going to be $10,000 for the roof, which we know is typical that it can be, right? But we need, as a consumer of that roofing company, we need some financing, right? Because typically you don't want to take $10,000 of cash or swipe your credit card for the $10,000. So if you could finance it to be able to get the roof, that would be a better option. So if you know a roofer or a construction company or a veterinarian or a person who owns a gym and they have invoices, right? They have clients that have high ticket items that when they need their services, this is a product that you offer. The client would pay $4.95 for the application to get qualified. What we do as a business, we look at the address, we look at the telephone number, we make sure everything is valid as a company, the website, make sure everything is credible. And then we go through the approval process to be able to get them approved based on our limits for consumer financing. So when a client now has that $10,000 roof opportunity, they can fill out an application, get an instant decision, just like the other loans is done, to be able to figure out if they get approved. And they get approved, that roofer now would get their funds for that roof for that customer within 72 hours. Guys, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful place to be in. So now the business owner doesn't have anxiety of trying to collect the funds. They actually they get their payment, and then the client makes the payment back to the bank. Does that make sense? That's our consumer financing piece, right? Very powerful to be able to market to people. So it depends on which product your client wants. It depends on which way you would go, right? So they want just the direct to consumer or the direct to merchant. So if this would be direct to the merchant, where the money would go directly to the company, or the combination, they can actually do a different financing package where it goes directly to the consumer. So they would pay $4.95 or $8.95, but either way, right, the affiliates get paid on that product as well, right? So for everybody that's excited about real estate, right, this one is for you. this real estate education package, I probably see this come through our system probably the most. Between this and the business credit on the fintech side, every week we have customers that's coming in excited about this. And I would like to tell you right now that if you decide to come in business with us, that you actually get a discount on the real estate education and the business credit suite products. Every fintech product on the platform, if you decide to be a business partner with us, then you actually get a discount on all of those products across the board. Get back with the person that invited you to the call, and they'll be able to share with you how those discounts are applied to your membership, but they are available to you and they're quite substantial, right? And so if you're a person who want to learn real estate, whether it's wholesale, fix or flip, or buy and hold, this model is for you. We have 3 different tiers of our real estate education that you actually can choose from in Extreme. One being the bronze package, which you come in, you get access to the ongoing education discounts, right? You know, this tier right here, just you want to get your feet wet. You want to get in and start learning some of the information, right? And put yourself in a position. So you would pay $12.49 for the access to that, or the no money down process, or you actually can do the installment plan as well, right? A person that's a silver, now this particular deal, you're going to get a little bit more coaching. So I'm going to slow down on this one, because this is where the rubber hits the road, ladies and gentlemen. You get the mentor calls, those 30-minute consultant calls where you actually can have a phone call with a person and actually walk you through and assist you on strategies, appraisals, making sure the structures are correct, right? Feasibility tests, like all these things. When you actually talk about purchasing a property, is critical information, making sure the loan and values are done correctly. Like, you know, all these things come into a mix when you're looking at making a purchase on a buy and hold, on a fix and flip, on a wholesale. Certain principles of real estate are just across the board, no matter what country you purchase it in, no matter what state you purchase it in. It's just basic real estate principles. As a brand new student, you get a chance to come in and get 8 mentor consultant calls and a 1-hour closing call. So that's just next level. So when you're going to the table, you get an opportunity to talk to your coach to make sure that deal goes smoothly, because your whole goal is to be profitable, true or not true. And so this is where the rubber hits the roads to me. When you get into the real estate education, one of them, you can get access to it, but you're kind of on your own. My more style is always coaching and mentoring. So if you want the coaching and mentor, you want to come in at least a silver, right? So at $24.95, you can get the real estate silver package and get those consultant calls. As a servicer, you get $500 in commission for that product, or your client can make installment payments, no problem. The third product is the one I absolutely see the most every week, right? Is the real estate gold. And the reason why is because you just get more value. You got 10 30-minute consultant calls, 2 1-hour closing calls, 2 1-hour rehab calls, 2 1-hour strategy calls, and 8 15-minute check-in calls just to make sure you're on track. Guys, that's a lot of value to be able to give a person who want to understand real estate. I feel like that's a person walking you through from the time you sign on all the way through closing a couple of deals. So now you got the confidence to be able to do this on your own 100%, because you learned the game from somebody who's actively engaged in this process. All of our mentors that actually calling our students are live real estate investors, agents, brokers. They're in the industry. So the students are getting industry real-time information to be able to take them through, guys. I mean, it's just a great value there. So at $49.95, or you can go through the no money down process, you can get access to that. Now I'm gonna share something with you, because I told you do get a discount. Now let's just say for this particular product, if you was a real estate, if you decide to come in business with us today, and whatever tier you decide to come in at, right, get back with the person that invited you to the call, and you can see what tier gives you the most value. But you get a $1,000 discount, on the real estate gold by itself. $1,000 comes off the purchase price, right? So instead of $49.95, you get all them calls that I told you about for $39.95. Guys, that's powerful. Or you can make the installment plans on the same deal. So whatever's going to be best for you. But guys, understand something. It's value in partnering with Extreme FX Scope Academy. You get an opportunity to be able to go over these 7 steps with a lot more support than you can ever do just doing it on your own, if that makes sense. The last part I want to share with you guys is our trust, because this to me is probably one of the most important pieces. After we go through this journey of building a business, after we go through this journey of actually, making sure our lives get in good position. And as you do this as a customer and as a client, potential client, if you decide you just want to be a client of ours, right? Once we get you through this whole phase, the next goal is for you to lock in a trust. Your family has to trust you enough to do the right thing, because a will will take you still can go to court with a will, can get locked up and probate or anything like that. We've seen it happen statistically over and over and over again. But it's something about when you get a trust, because you have to understand the leverage of a trust is this. If you have a trust account, You no longer own the assets. Those things have been legally binded and placed inside of this trust, where the trust now has ownership. Key terminology is key when you're talking about finance. You got ownership. The trust has ownership over the assets. Now you become something called executor of the estate. The estate inside the trust, you're the executor over it. So you got the keys to that door. You can access all the assets, but you don't own them. But it still could be the same car that you're driving that's in the trust. The same house that you're living in is in the trust. The same bank account that you got a debit card for is in the trust. The only difference of it is a person can't sue you for it. A person can't, it can't get locked up in a divorce. It can't get caught up because a person wants to personally attack you, the person. The trust has ownership, not the person. Guys, that's powerful stuff. And when you start building assets, the worst thing that can happen is that you build up this great portfolio, and then something happens in your life that's out of your control and it's taken away from you. Guys, you don't want that. So I believe as you start coming up these 7 steps to this ascending ladder, guys, start thinking about at what point are you going to get a trust for you and your family. And there's all different types of trust, but I want you to understand this is why this is the 7th step in our process, because this is when you secure your legacy. So when you talk to all of our IRS enrolled agents, they'll walk you through and talk about training on a live trust, the portability, because the different state laws of trust and how they go from state to state, the portability of it, the income tax and the protection against lawsuits, right? And protection from family recklessness of spending. But let's just be honest, like everyone in our families are not good with money. And so you want to make sure your trust is protected in such a way that it can't be abused, right? It can be used, but not abused, right? So you can take a screenshot of this particular slide right here, because this has all the commissions that I went over today in this presentation with you, of the price point of the product, the upfront commissions, and we're paying out a whole bunch of money up front, right, to families and servicing, the overrides for building an organization. And lastly, I want you to pay attention to this column that's called volume, because we do have a trinary matrix company. So every product that comes in, you have an opportunity to be able to put this product inside the comp plan, and you actually can build another income, ladies and gentlemen, of residual income that can be built out for your family, whether it's $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, that's broken down into weekly payments. Every 7 days, we run a commission payroll, right? And our affiliates that service people last week, they get paid the next week, right? And this is ongoing. So everything that you've done to serve the community, to serve yourself, right? Yes, it can be put inside of a matrix, and we do open up additional compensation for that, man. So put some fire in the chat, guys, if you're excited about that. We just want to make sure that you get all the value possible to be able to take care of your family, right? We're all about service. And when we started this company 2 years ago, it was to serve the people across the world. And I'm just grateful that 2 years later, we're still doing the same thing. And we just got so much more to do, right? The blessings continue to come, and we got so much to share with you guys. And so partnering with Extreme FX, that I feel like is a great decision, because you're going to work with 4 founders who started this thing out of love and care. It was never for selfish intent or greed, but we've been blessed and fortunate enough from 4 different spectrums of the earth to come together with a common interest. And that common goal was to serve people, to put people in a better situation, to give them an academy that's really going to teach them money and really going to teach them how to grow without being suppressed by a system that they feel like they can't win with. So whether you want to be a client and you just want to work on your services, you just want to work on your life and get the services to put the pieces together for your finance, or you decide you want to come in business with us and you want to grow an income for your family by serving people with these products, and also you decide you may want to do some of it yourself, because I believe that if you're in business in a financial company, your life shouldn't be proven financially, because certain people may see you for who you are and they see you for your past. But as they look at you from moving forward, they're going to be able to see your progression. So you don't have to convince anybody about your life improving, because you're actually using the services and you're actually living proof that this stuff works, right? Life is not about convincing people. It's about showing improvement, right? So I appreciate all you guys who actually jumped on the call today to be able to hear this information. Again, I do this call 3 times a week. Me and the leaders, we get together to be able to share this information for new guests who want to be able to hear about how they can put themselves in position to be able to grow with a company that's growing extremely quickly and extremely stable, guys. And so my name is Adrian Dynamite, son of the living legend. I always say we got to pay the price up front and for no discount. So let that price be paid. And I hope I said something today to inspire you, to actually share with you of how you can go up the 7 steps of the ascending ladder and lock in wealth for you and your family. Peace and blessing. Thank you guys for being here. Get back with the person that invited you, and I'll see you guys on my next call on Friday. Take care.